The much anticipated Fineract version 1.9 is finally out. In this video, we are going to highlight some of the key new features and improvements that you will get once you upgrade to this new version. Welcome. So the first major improvement we have in version 1.9 is the user interface for the back office users. So this is a move away from the older version, which was based on Angular 1.1 to the new web application, which is based on the more recent Angular versions. And what that means is that it is more secure, it is faster. A lot of you may have complained about when you try to get to the login page, it just keeps scrolling and never gets there. With this new version, that is gone. The other things that you get, of course, is it is much more responsive. So if you're using a different device, not necessarily a laptop, it is going to adjust to your screen size very well. So this is what I mean. So if I'm using it on a phone, it's going to adjust very well and I can still use it very effectively. So that is what you get with the new user interface. The other thing is, as a user, I am able to customize the application itself in terms of theme. I can change to one of these 6 themes that we have here. You can also change and put in things like your company logo, even on the landing page. So the default one is this Mythos. But if you want to have your own company logo here, you can do that with this new user interface, even without involving Fita per se. So those are some of the advantages you get with the new user interface. Again, it is more secure, it is faster, it is better, and it is future-proof, because the earlier versions of Angular are becoming more and more obsolete. So eventually, there won't be any support for the user interface that you're probably using right now. So that is the first thing that you get, a very modern, beautiful user interface. So next we have a bunch of new features around loans. So we're going to talk about each of them briefly right now. So when you open a new loan account, you will get a number of options that allow you to make adjustments to the loan. So if you want to maybe correct a mistake that was made, or you want to maybe reduce the amount that is due on a customer account, you can use either of these options. So we have Goodwill credit, payout refund, and merchant refund. So all of them, in summary, they adjust the loan account, basically credit the loan account to reduce the loan balance. So the reason behind it could be, for instance, you want to improve the customer credit because for one reason or the other, their credit with the credit bureau is really bad, and you want basically, as a way of just showing goodwill to your customer, you want to adjust their credit by writing off a portion of the loan. You can do that here. Also, there is payout refund and merchant issued refund. All of them, as we're going to see right now, they will adjust the loan balance. Like this example here, we have a payout refund adjustment that was made, and it completely reduced the loan balance. Like you can see here, it was 10,000, and you also include the interest of 711. So the payout refund adjustment was made and completely reduced it to 0. But then we have another adjustment that you are allowed to make on the adjustment itself, called chargeback. So if this was a mistake, like in this case, this loan was adjusted completely and marked as fully repaid, but you notice that that is not the case, and you need to basically reinstate the loan to maybe to the tune of 1,000, like in this case, then you have another adjustment that allows you to do that. So all these adjustments basically help you to have a very to make adjustments that are easy to audit, easy to follow up, and easy to trace. Because right now, with your version of Fineract, yes, you can make these adjustments, but they would either be either write-offs or they would be fake write-offs. They would either be fake repayments that would include a note. Yes, you make like in this case, you could have easily made a repayment to the tune of 10,711.54. But in making it, we add a note and say this is not a real repayment. It is to make a payout refund adjustment. Yes, you can do that with your current version, but this is much better and much easier to audit. Even in terms of the journal entries that are made, it's slightly different. So those three adjustments work the same way. They reduce the loan balance. And of course, we've talked about the charge-off. Yeah, so those are the features that allow you to make adjustments to loans. Then next, there's another concept that has been introduced with this new version, which is sell loan. And sell loan basically allows you to invite investors to share the burden of the risk with you. So if you sell off this loan to an investor, the customer will still be expected to make the repayment to completion and all that. But should they not pay it, then the investor basically covers that risk with you. And of course, it means that if the customer fully repays, you also share the earnings that you get with the investor. So this is a new concept. And if you are in that kind of a business model where you share the risk of your loan products with external investors, then this will be a perfect new feature for you. Next, we have a bunch of minor enhancements that basically make the user experience much better and also add a lot of value for you because you get to know what's happening with your loan accounts. And a good example of that would be the delinquency tag that we see here. So the system will keep check of this on a daily basis and update that. So like you can see here, we have, and these are defined somewhere else. You can configure this somewhere else and make it as custom as you want. And the system will always keep checking on a daily basis what's happening with the loan account and update it if the loan account moves from one delinquency bucket to the next. So delinquency is based on the days in arrears. So like in this case, we see if the loan is in arrears by between 1 and 1 days, then it is classified as pass. If it is between 2 and 30 days, then it is classified as watch. So you can customize this based on your either the regulations in your market or basically just your own internal way of classifying your loan accounts delinquency buckets. So and the good thing is that the system will from that time take over and just keep tabs of these for you on a daily basis. So previously you would have to run a report to get this kind of information, and that would actually be at a global level. But in this case, you can go to a loan account specific to your customer and actually get to know how are they doing in terms of delinquency. We also have some other improvements on the user interface for loans especially. So like a good example would be loan reschedules. So if this loan has been rescheduled before or there's a reschedule that is in progress, you'll get to see it here. And if some cases loans are rescheduled multiple times, right, or restructured several times, So you'll get to see all those details here. So that makes it very easy for you to actually get to know what's happening with the loan account itself. Then the other option that you have is you can actually get to see if there are any standing instructions that have been put against this particular loan account. So you can actually get to see all those details here. And as we mentioned earlier, there is that external investors, so that you'll get to see who is actually taking this risk with you. So this is just another user experience feature that comes with 1.9. Yeah, and then finally, for loans, now we have a new feature that allows you to search your loan accounts and get to basically know how they're performing without running a report. So this is an advanced search window that allows you to filter your loan accounts by their status, by the products, office, and dates. You can put date ranges. You can actually put loan outstanding, what is the minimum, maximum value that you expect. Once you fill this form and you submit, the system will return all the loan accounts that meet that particular criteria. By now, you should know and appreciate the power that comes with data tables. And good news is that there's an enhancement on that, a major one actually. So now data tables support not just clients, groups, centers, office, loan accounts, and savings accounts. It also supports loan products, savings account transaction, savings product, and share product. So these are addition, especially the savings account transaction. This allows you to basically add more information that you want to capture and reference about your savings account transactions. So this is very powerful. So it works like it is right now, but the enhancement is that we now have more support for more entities, not just the four or five that we had before. We have many more that you can now easily attach more information to. And the good thing is that actually now there is the ability to also search. So you can search your data table. And this, of course, is via API. So you can search data tables. You can, as part of the search, they sort. Yeah, so it is much, much more powerful than it was before. Finally, we now have the ability for you to determine the business date that is used to carry out the operations and also the end of day. So what I mean is this. So once you enable this feature here, you will get this addition here that will allow you to set what is the business date, meaning that if I carry out a transaction right now, which date is it going to use? With your current version of Fineract, that will always be the system date that has been set, right? So, but that is not always ideal because in some instances you may want to backdate some transactions, and that backdating should you want to determine actually what is the business date to be used there, and especially for close of business date. This is very, very important because processes that happen at the end of the day, like posting of interest, accruals, marking loans as either default and all that, you want to know which date and to determine the date that is going to be used, especially if your processes overrun midnight, go beyond midnight because of the size of the data. With this feature, you can actually just set it to a specific day, and all transactions will use that particular day. So if you're accruing, they are going to use, like in this case, 25th of January, in as much as today is 5th of February. So this is a very, very important feature. and especially for consistency and also for accounting, finance, and just generally for consistency within your transaction dates. Yeah, so like it is with most core banking systems, your IT team will log into the system in the morning, and they will set these two dates to the specific dates they want. So they will say, for instance, business date is 5th, and close of business has also been adjusted to 5th, after confirming that all end of day processes have completed successfully. Yeah, so this is kind of a standard within the core banking industry, and it is finally great to have this fully implemented and ready for use in Fineract. And talking of jobs, there's quite a great improvement when it comes to jobs now. So you can actually group your jobs in a specific way, and also say that determine the order they're going to be executed in. So like this example, we have loan closer business jobs, and this about 6 jobs will need to be executed for this process to be complete. And also, as you can see here, the order has been determined by the system admin. So we will first of all add any overdue charges, then classify the loans in terms of delinquency buckets, and so on and so forth. So until all these have been completed, this job will not really be marked as complete. So this is, and you can add more to this particular list. So this is a great improvement, because before it wasn't possible for you to actually group a number of related jobs in a specific into one, and also determine the order in which they're going to be executed. Each job was basically on its own, independent of the other. They wasn't even aware that there's a dependency. There's a dependency on another job, but with this, that has been put in place, and it is quite a nice thing to have now. That was a quick overview of all the major new features we have in version 1.9. Please give us a call for us to talk on how we can upgrade it to the latest version. FITA, trailblazing the path to an agile financial world.